Hi, today we're aboard the 76 Hargrave Anna C, and we want to take a look at what it's like being on board this boat from an owner-operator standpoint. So let's take a look at the functions, the systems, how the boat works, how it handles as an owner-operator. I'm Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com. Come on aboard with me and we'll check it out together.
The Hargrave 76 motor yacht has a length overall of 76 feet 9 inches, a beam of 19 feet, and she draws 5 feet 4 inches of water. Her fully loaded weight is 147,599 pounds. She carries 2,000 gallons of fuel and holds 350 gallons of water that gets replenished by the AquaSea Recovery Water Maker system.
There's great visibility all around, but not so much down to the sides of the boat or, of course, at the stern. So if you're doing any close quarters maneuvering, you got to have a good feel for where the perimeters of the boat are. There are controls that you can take out to the sides of the boat and actually operate it remotely. That's only for docking and the really close quarters maneuvering around the marina. Even at idle speed, the Hargrave 76 is very responsive to the helm. We're going down the narrowest, windingest navigable waterway in the country, the New River in Fort Lauderdale. And she's responding very nicely as we go around all of these little tight bends. Even with the engines out of gear, the helm responds nicely to the rudder. Not too much authority on the bow and stern thrusters, so it's probably not a good idea to rely on them unless you're doing your close quarters maneuvering into the dock.
The Hargrave 76 has a top speed of 22.2 knots. She doesn't really have a best cruise as her range decreases linearly as speed increases from idle speed. So, depending on how you choose to operate her, you can get a range of 1,692 nautical miles at trawler speeds of 7.5 knots, burning 8 gallons per hour, or bring her up to a moderate cruise of around 15.1 knots, which is at that comfortable 1,800 RPMs I discussed earlier. And that gives her a range of 357 nautical miles, burning 76 gallons per hour. It's all up to you, your comfort level, and how far you really want to go.
Okay, well now that we've got the performance characteristics of the Hargrave 76 taken care of, let's get down to the handling, see how she takes a sea a little bit. Now, the Hargrave 76 weighs 147,000 pounds, so nothing happens fast. When you advance the throttles, it's a nice, steady, slow progression. You're not going to get the bow to come up and then stabilize. Now, I'll bring our speed up to just about 1,800 RPMs. It's giving us 14.2, 14.3 in this head sea, and it's a very comfortable ride. I have not got the autopilot set. I'm not leaning against anything. I do feel the boat moving very slightly, but the Naiad stabilizers are also kicking in and helping to keep the boat on a steady plane. So it's a very comfortable ride. Okay, so now we've got a feel for how it handles in both the following sea, the head sea, the beam sea. Let's see how she handles at high speed and doing some maneuvering. And this is by no means the way that this boat was meant to be handled, and it would be a rare operator that would actually do it, but let's see what happens. So I'll give us full throttle. There's no lurching ahead. Again, it's a 147,000 pound boat, so it takes its little time to get up to speed, but now that we're up, put it into a hard overturn. I'm staying perfectly level here. The boat's not listing into the turn or, what would be worse, heeling outside of the turn. I'm staying nice and straight and level as the boat comes around. Now, as I come around to starboard on a high turn, it's got just a little bit, a 1-2 degree list over to starboard. So that probably has more to do with the way that the propellers are rotating. To port, it stayed flat and level, but to starboard, I've got just a very slight list. But it's taking the turn with aplomb. Here I am coming right around to the prop wash. You can see as we join it again. And as you look around onto the right side of the boat, you can see what a short turning radius that the boat has. It's performing very nicely. Now let's keep it at full speed and we'll see again how it's handling this beam sea. I don't see much water going out off the sides of the boat at all. It just seems to be handling it nice and straight and cutting right through it. If I bring it around and pick up that following sea, still at speed, it just has a nice little groove of riding along with the seas and really taking the seas and riding with them rather than fighting against them. Let's keep it at full speed, 21.2 knots, and bring it around again to a head sea. We'll see how much water we throw off to the sides. Now I'm coming back from full speed, and I just am pulling the throttles back not even looking at the RPMs. I'm just getting a more comfortable ride. I'm just getting a more sedate feel to it. And as I look down, I see him at the 1800, 1900 RPM setting that I said was probably going to be the most comfortable, but again, I can't see if that's going to be the most efficient. But that's where my hand naturally gravitates the boat to, is that 1800 RPM setting. Well, there's our look at the performance and handling of this Hargrave 76 motor yacht. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.